This video is going to show you how to take your measurements for your Bettie harness. So you are going to need some ribbon, yarn, string, anything that you can tie around your waist. So it needs to be big enough to go around your waist, and a tape measure. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to make our lives really easy and use this ribbon right here. Just before we start, I just want to say it's really important to wear something fitted, just so that you can get your measurements right. You can do it in the buff if you want, but make sure that you've got something, like you don't want to wear a big chunky jumper or something. You need to get your measurements as precise as you can. So first of all, we're going to take the ribbon and tie it around our high waist. So now when I say high waist, I mean, if you have a look at the harness, the very top of the strap that goes above the cross, is where you want your high waist measurement to start. Now that usually is the underbust, slightly above your natural waist. So if I show you, my natural waist is here, my bra band starts here, so I'm just tying my ribbon just underneath. I'm not looking you in the eyes, I'm looking at myself in the camera to make sure that I'm showing you correctly. So tie this here, it doesn't need particularly tight, it just needs to stay on. Now this is going to be your point of reference whilst you're taking your measurements. Measurement number 1 is for the centre, well, the long vertical piece. So what we're going to do is take, I'm all in a tangle. We're going to take our tape measure, make sure that you're using centimetres. To use the harness generator to generate your measurements, you need to enter it in centimetres. It will give you an output in inches should you want it, but I need centimetres when you're putting it in. I've got my tape measure. I'm going to feel around on my neck, and you've got your collarbone here, and right in the middle where that dip is, that's where I want to start measuring from. So I will take the top of my tape measure, line it up, and then I'm going to measure straight down. Now there's one thing you need to bear in mind here, particularly if you're busty. If you can see, at the moment I'm measuring and it's going around the curve of my bust. I don't want it to do that, I want it to go between my boobs. So if you press it in there, maybe you want to wear something a little bit less tight than this, and I'm going to measure all the way down to the centre of that piece of yarn or string. Now make sure that it's lying completely flat and nice and taut, and then if you've got someone with you, they can tell you what the measurement is. If not, just have a little look for yourself, maybe in front of the mirror, and then place your thumb where the measurement is, and you can have a look and check that size. Now write that down as the measurement number 1. Measurement number 2 is your high waist measurement. You can just measure the string that you've tied around if that's easy for you. If you find it hard to sort of reach behind yourself and measure around your waist, you can just do it with a piece of string and cut it and then measure the piece of string. But I'm going to show you how to do it with the tape measure. So again, make sure that you're using centimetres, not inches. I'm going to reach around, and we're all in a twist. Make sure there are no twists in the tape measure. And I'm going to, yep, that is it right there. So again, it's where that ribbon is sitting, that high waist / underbust measurement. Check what it says in centimetres. I'm going to write that one down, and that's going to be measurement number 2. Now, measurement number 3 is so that we can calculate how much you need for the shoulder straps. Because it's very difficult to measure the shoulder straps, which actually run from that ball in the back of your neck to the side of the waist, what we are going to do is use a similar measurement which you can take alone. So find the point of your shoulder, the bony bit on the end, so that for me is right here, and we're going to measure diagonally across, again flat, not coming out the curve of your breast, flat down to the centre of your, we're going to measure straight down to the centre of the ribbon, string or yarn that you've used to mark your high waist. So I'm going to put the tip of the measuring tape right here, measure diagonally down, trying to get it, I mean, if you've got boobs, they're going to get in the way, but try and get them as flat as possible to the centre here. Make sure that's on properly. Tight down, right in the middle. And I'm going to take that measurement, and that's my measurement 3. And that's it. You're all done. Now what you need to do is put those 3 measurements where you're told into the Excel spreadsheet as part of the pattern, which will then perform a calculation and give you the length of the straps that you need for each part of the pattern. And this is not the numbers that you've just measured. The numbers that you've just measured is what helps you work it out. And there is no maths for you to do. You just plug in those numbers and it will generate them for you. If you have any questions, let me know. But hopefully that's been a little quick guide on how to take those measurements. Happy knitting!